My mum died 8 years ago. I was 35, completely lost, and still acting like a teenager. Her death was the first time in my life I had nobody and nothing left to hide behind. I'm telling you this story from rural Ireland at age 43, but none of this would have happened without what I promised myself in London at 35. This is the video I've needed to make since I started this channel, because none of what you're seeing right now would have been possible. None of it happens without what happened in that week. Let me give you some context, because this story isn't a story about grief, it's a story about wasted time. I was an addict in my 20s, amphetamines. For about 5 years, maybe more, that was my life. And when I got clean, well, I'd been clean about 6 months when my mum died. I genuinely thought I'd done the hard part, but what nobody tells you about getting clean is that you still have to figure out who you are, who you actually are, because I'd spent years using and then quite a long time recovering, and underneath all of that there was nothing, no direction and no plan. So there I was, 35 years old, living alone in London, working for the big bakery chain Greggs. Not glamorous, I know, and not because I was building towards something, but just because it was there. I wasn't miserable, but I wasn't really living either. I was just present, turning up, getting through days. That's what my 30s looked like. Well, part of him. Then my mum died. She'd been ill. I knew it was coming. My whole family did. But nothing really prepares you for the moment it actually happens. The thing that hit me the hardest wasn't grief exactly. It was the feeling of exposure, like a curtain had been drawn back, pulled back over my life, my whole life. If things got too hard, if I needed to hide from who I really was, there was always my mum. Not because she enabled me, because she didn't, but just simply because she existed. Because there was one person who really knew me and lived on this earth my whole life. And now she was gone, and I felt, and I know this sounds strange for a 35-year-old man to say to himself, but I felt like an orphaned child, because I was one in every way that mattered. You see, I'd never actually ever grown up. I'd used my 30s the way I'd used my 20s, just getting through, just surviving, not growing, and sitting there in that flat in London, completely alone. I remember thinking, there is no one left to hide behind now. There's nothing I can hide behind. I don't have the drugs anymore, and I don't have my mum. I won't pretend I had some Hollywood moment where everything suddenly made sense. The first couple of weeks were brutal, if I'm honest. The loneliness was something I hadn't truly expected. It's probably just ignorance, but it wasn't just missing her, but this deeper loneliness of realizing how small I'd let my world get, how alone I'd made myself. But something shifted. I made a quiet promise to myself, not out loud, just a decision in my own mind, that I was done wasting time, wasting my life, that the mess, the years, the getting clean, the Greggs uniform, that was not going to be my full story. I didn't know what making something of myself looked like. I genuinely didn't. But for the first time in my life, I was honest with myself that I had to find out. So here I am, 8 years later at 43. I live in rural Ireland. I have a dog. I walk every day. I have a missus. I'm not a success story in the way that Instagram wants you to be one. I don't have a 6-figure business and I don't have a viral moment. But I haven't wasted a day. Not since that lonely flat in London. That's what my mum's death actually gave me. Not grief, though there was plenty of that. But permission. Permission to stop pretending I would sort it out eventually. Permission to finally, properly grow up. If you're watching this and you're 35 or 40 or 50 and you feel like you've been going through the motions, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you what happened to me. The seed of all of this, everything I have, well, that was planted in the worst week of my life. And it took 8 years to grow. I'm Simon. This is Midlife Mapped. And if any of this sits with you, stick around. Hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to see more content just like this of my story and how I became the man that I am today and why I'm so proud of that man. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one maybe. Cheers.